even some of that's trickling down to high school now. I mean, we went from last week playing a kind of a flex bone team that runs triple option and with a tight end. This week we're playing, Shawnee Northwest. They're going to line up 4 or 5 wide, and they're going to sling it all over the
place.
So it's, I mean, it's even trickling down, and I mean, it's even harder at that level because people have more film on you, and I mean, all those things. So. I mean, I remember watching you play too at Iowa State one year. You got when I was coaching with Joe up there, and you got us all tickets, and
I
we were right by the Oklahoma band, so all day. I mean, I just were hearing the song all day in my ear. I still wake up in my sleep sometimes because I want to say you guys put up like 70. Or, I mean, it was never in doubt.
That was a good one. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner. Boom, come on, let's do it. Boomer Sooner.
Was that when Brett Meyer was there, or was that before that?
That was before that.
Yeah.
So it was probably that year that Austin Seneca just left.
Yeah, I think Arnaud was the quarterback.
Yeah, Seneca had just left.
It was Austin Blythe, freshman out of
I think you're right. I think
Austin
that is
Blythe.
his name. I think that was what it was.
Yeah,
I think that was what it
Iowa
was.
State. Tyler's the Iowa State
He's
guy.
Iowa
right?
State
yeah,
guy.
Cyclone,
Tyler
huh?
chiming in, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was his name actually.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah,
That was a good
I
run,
just
man.
remember it was a one-sided game, about as one-sided as you could get. I mean,
And again, I was excited because the one's close back to the
Yeah,
home
yeah.
where you can get as many people as in
because
there.
we had a few other Grandview alumni that
Yeah.
were going to Iowa State at the
Yeah,
time too.
yeah,
I saw, and I'm sure you probably got to talk to them too that day a little bit. and-
Those are the games that as a kid from up north, considering in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Those are the games that really kind of hit home for me. All the other ones were also big, but the ones where your boys are at, your family's at, those are the ones I definitely remember for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good times.
Watching that game and got to take kind of a Saturday off because Joe was a grinder on Saturdays
Man.
for coaching wise. We were in the office all day. We got a little break that day. Got to go see you guys play, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
But as your playing career was kind of coming to an end there, you said you got an opportunity to coach, for OU also.
Right.
So how was that transition, and how did you kind of get into that?
Well, man, I was fortunate. Like I said, it was really just I had a really good group of guys. I mean, I was there with Brent Venables. He was our D coordinator, and of course, Bob Stoops was the head coach, and they were defensive guys. And if the team had structure had probably been a little bit different, meaning the head coach was an offensive mind. And not necessarily looking for help on the defensive side of the ball per se. I don't know if the opportunity would have been so available, but I mean, I from the time I got in there, I really tried to open my mind up and learn the game, and just get as much tape in as I could. And I think they saw that, and it reflected in some of my play and my efforts. And they just offered me, say, hey man, you don't got to quit coming around just because you can't play anymore. We still want you to be a part of the team and come around and help us out. And that's really actually how it started. I just come back for practice. I'd still come to practice like I was going to practice, but I just kind of helped them out on the side. And then before I know it, I'm working with a freshman and showing him the its and pieces of what Brent's looking for. And then before you know it, I'm quality control and, working on work. I'm up there every day after, 3 or 4 hours after practice and just learning the ropes of it, And that's really how it started. It wasn't something that I planned on doing. It's nothing that even watching Hornback do it. It's nothing that I ever thought about doing. But, once you transition and start moving into different fields, you just take what's available to you. And that just jumped on me like no other, man. So it was great.
Yeah. What was as kind of a quality control guy? What's the worst thing you had to do? For those guys.
Actually, quality control is a little bit easier than GA, honestly, because quality control is you're not necessarily allowed to be on the field, so you're more so behind the scenes, clipboard type, clipboard coaching necessarily how they say it. But you're doing all the the film stuff, you're doing all the preparation stuff. GA is actually kind of involved with the true position mainly, so you're probably out there. Breaking a sweat and really being responsible for a group maybe. So it's, quality control is a little bit not to say easier. They're all intricate in the wind, but I think there's not NCAA rules. There's not as many things you can do as a quality control as you can as a GA. So quality control, man, is really more paperwork, just data, data analysis, data entry, compare, contrast, and scouting. Just looking at all the other things, not necessarily on the practice field, but all the things that'll get you ready for the practice field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then what was your role kind of in recruiting with that?
Really in state and office. All the
Okay.
recruiting weekends, you prepare for those and just kind of do the touring. Anything on campus and facility, you handle that. Not so much anything off the road, but it was, it really just kind of gets you into the inner workings of the coaching side of things. You're not necessarily allowed to do all the things, but you're right underneath the guys that are. So
Yeah.
that's good.
So, would you evaluate tape and things on kids at that time and kind of maybe if you saw a kid, put him on somebody's radar?
Yeah, definitely. That's really, your extra eyes.
Yeah.
Your extra eyes, extra hands, an extra mind. Maybe not so much an extra mouth, but you're not allowed to instruct, but you're definitely, and that's why a lot of these coaches that you see, ex-head coaches, they'll go be a quality control guy at Tennessee. They'll go be a quality control guy because they don't necessarily need you on the field, but your expertise in the game, and that you don't have necessarily a full-time position, it's still a way for you to stay involved and help out maybe a guy that that's a head coach or a coordinator, because it's really all you are is just an extra mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you made the transition to Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
How did that opportunity present itself?
Just hunting. You gotta. That's one thing about coaching. You gotta stay on the hunt, man. You gotta hunt for players, and you gotta hunt for your next job. And being from Missouri, and one of the guys that I knew that was already in the business, he told me that Missouri State was looking for a guy, and just kind of reached out to the defensive coordinator and the head coach on my own. And actually, I still remember the time when Bob came to me and said, "Hey, the head coach from Missouri State called me." I was like, all right, hey, coach, I forgot to tell you. I went on the interview. I didn't even know the protocol of how it was supposed to go. So, just hustling it up and staying on the grind and trying to find your next gig and believing in myself and just recognizing I was probably ready to move on. And that was probably a big most guys probably wouldn't leave a major Division I university like that to maybe step down a rank. But to get some more responsibility and a little more power, that was kind of important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What position were you coaching there?
Linebackers.
Linebackers.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. I wanted to get
Yeah.
back to what I,
because that's what you know. I mean,
yeah,
that's what
right.
you play.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
you know the reads and
Right.
how to tell those guys, hey, these are where your eyes need to be, and
Right.
this is your fits, and I mean all those little things.
And all the stuff. You'd be surprised in the crumbs that I just, picked up just following Brent Venables around. And not to mention being able to work with Coach Stoops on the back end and work with him in the secondary. It was really, I really wanted to get back to doing some second level work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. And then, so what are you up to these days?
Man, I'm going to get back into it now, but one thing about this coaching realm, it goes in rotation. So I'm working with actually the PAL Police Athletic League. They're going to do some camps here, and I just want to get back to coaching with some of the young kids, helping out where I can, and I'm waiting on something to come around in college football again. But you never know, man. So you got to keep the bills paid till then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always a tough business. Unfortunately, a lot of the success or longevity, especially in college football right now, is just based on wins. And, when those wins aren't happening every Saturday or consistent enough for certain fan bases, a change is made.
And it's a revolving door, man. That's one
Yeah.
thing about coaching. That's why it's more about the relationships than the actual coaching, because there's jobs all around the country, but there's also coaches all around the country.
Yeah.
So just staying involved, still watching a ton of tape, man. I gotta pay for it on my own and watch the NFL game films and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But you just try to stay involved with the game, and the more you watch it, you can watch a game and still analyze it and see exactly what an offense is trying to do, and maybe even steal some concepts and see what the defense is trying to do. But just staying alert and staying knowledgeable of the game.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've found as a coach. The longer I do it, the harder it is to just sit down and watch a football game. As a fan,
you're not gonna do it.
I'm
it's
always
not gonna happen.
I'm always
it's
like,
over.
man, why are they doing that? Or why are they sending their defense? Especially because
Right.
I'm a D-line guy now, So, you know, I'm always like, well, why are they pinching him now? Or why are they sending him here?
Yeah.
Why is he looping? You know, why? You know, I want to know, why are they doing that? Not that it's wrong.
Start
just
keeping numbers in your head. Like, I think they got about 200 yards rushing already. It's just, you just can't watch it the same way anymore.
Yeah,
I know
it's just always that brain is going. And
that's a gift and a curse. But I think, you know, those are the things that keep your mind sharp. It's just like anything else. Keep your mind sharp so that way when you need it, you can use it. So you just never know when, man. That's one thing about coaching. You just got to stay ready.
Yeah, I just need, you know, we need a couple of those quality control guys at Shawnee Mission East so we can have them enter all that data.
I hear that.
You know, because I'm spending my weeks and Saturdays and, you know, I'm putting all this data in and,
it's always good to get help, man. I mean, you look at some of these, man, don't think that, you know, a lot of these Power 5 schools don't got a whole crew of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quality control guys on
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it helps. It definitely helps.
But, yeah, no, we, you know, it's part of the fun of high school, and it just kind of, you know, when I'm entering my data, I'm not necessarily watching the game. I'm just I kind of go through and do my data and just focus on, like I do, you know, this year I'm doing down and distance and gain and pass and all that, like. And then I go back and watch the game.
That's the challenge, man. Yeah. Really, that right there is the challenge in early coaching, is not getting caught up in the task, but actually understanding the reason, and not just, you know, drawing cards, not just sitting there drawing every play card, but actually looking at it and understanding, you know, what the play is and what they're trying to execute, and not getting caught up in the routine of it. So yeah, I know what you mean, man. That's the any task for any young coach, man.
You know, it's a lot of fun though. You know, we got a good staff, and you know, our coordinator appreciates all the data we put in. And, you know, I mean, he helps too, and he put, you know, we each have kind of 2 or 3 columns we do. And,
yeah, that's good, man. You work for a jerk, it doesn't help, but you work for a good guy, it helps.
Yeah, when you're working for a nice guy. And our head coach Justin Hoover, I mean, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's one of the best guys I've worked for.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Nice.
But yeah, so
there's a lot of good high school coaches in Kansas City, man. We don't get enough credit that they deserve, but compared to some of the other states in the country, but there's a lot of good high school coaches, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the privilege on the U. We did a preview for the Suburban League, and I got to talk to all 27 head coaches in the Suburban League, and it was the first time I'd met several of them. And I mean, they were all very sharp guys, and you know, kind of the time I got to spend with them, you know, which I think any good head coach does. I mean, he made me want to cheer for their program. Like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm gonna cheer for these guys.
Right. And I still, man, follow. I don't know if you know the head coach over at Lee Summit North, Jamar Mosey.
Yeah,
he's really doing a really good job out there, and he just bringing the right attitude, great energy, and you know, it's like it's a bunch of really good coaches around.
Yeah, he was another one I met for the first time this summer, and I mean, but I've heard great things. Played at Blue Springs,
pours out of it.
I mean, he exuded excitement the whole time.
Yeah, it's a bunch of good bunch, man. It's a
ton. And so, you know, him being a Blue Springs guy, you know, played for Coach Donahoe out there, and another legendary guy here, you know, here in the Kansas City area.
Yeah, it's a bunch of good ones, man.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to hit on?
No, man.
Bring
up
fun, about
man.
OU,
talk, man. It's always good to talk a little football, man.
Yeah,
better than watching it.
Yeah, definitely. We do this every week. So
nice.
Anytime you want to come back, man, just let me know.
Definitely, man. Thanks for the invite, man. It's a good time, man.
Well, thanks again to Wayne Chambers, our guest this evening, and we'll be right back after this break with our power rankings.
Nice.
Boom. Awesome.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dog.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, man. That was
Yeah, man. And when you get that next big job, man, we'll get you back on via video from the office.
Man, I like to. I'm gonna go out here.
Van life. It's been defined as the continuous, everlasting void of living in a van. And if van life is calling you, then you should check out vandoit.com. Van Do It can be used as a primary vehicle with 7-passenger seating, convertible to a camper van, or anywhere in between. Go ahead, give our site and blog a gander. We assure you, it's going to make you say, you Van Do It. 816-944-2229. Or check us out at vandoit.com.
Wayne was finna get called out by me, but then I run my collar.
I'm Johnny
Those
Clare, head
Clares,
coach
I know.
of St.
No,
John
this is,
Wesleyan. If you're looking for professional quality customized wood bat for your baseball player, walk off wood bat company is the place to go. All bats